This is center cut wood. Center cut wood is the wood that was cut from the core of the tree, and therefore it had much less damage than the outer layers of the tree would have had. The beautiful thing about the old wood is that you get the tightness of grain that you just do not get in new wood. While some people might confuse this with new wood, if you look to see the grain pattern, you can see that the grain is extremely tight. Also, you have some different coloration in the wood itself. Again, this is water. I'm just showing you because it really brings out a tremendous amount of color when finish is applied. So what you're seeing here is a very good sample of what a smooth texture on old pine would look like. Again, you're going to get a lot of variation in color throughout the entire tabletop. We're applying multiple planks and comprising the table. You're still always going to get some degree of imperfection. Again, this wood has already had a life of its own. It's lived over 100 years. Having this here just so that you can see what a lighter finish does. Even though it's the same texture as this, you're going to notice a lot more things going on in the wood when you select a lighter color. This is a great example of what we would consider a medium texture. It's been sanded down, not nearly as much as a smooth texture, but it's somewhere in between. And a lot of families that are concerned about kids and homework, etc., that don't want really a smooth table opt to go for the medium texture. This is what you can expect to see in a medium texture. The grain sometimes raises a little bit. Again, it's going to be very smooth to the touch, but it is not going to be perfectly flat. What I'm doing here is I'm spraying water on an unfinished piece of wood. This is very, very rustic. And as you can see, it brings out a tremendous amount of color in the wood. You may not have known prior to any of the water going on that you'd see reds in this. It's very similar to a rock that you put in water. It brings out the colors. When it's dry, you don't see as much nearly as when you sink it in water. Same principles apply to this. What you're going to get in very rustic wood textures is much like this. You're going to get some old knots, you're going to get some old bug infestation. Don't worry, it won't be there by the time it gets to you. We kiln dry our wood. And everything that any food particle might get stuck in will be filled. Now again, this is a very rustic bench that we've just processed for someone. This is, again, the very rustic characteristics of the wood. You're going to have some light colors and you're going to have some darker shades, which is very typical of old barn wood.